The Zarkani High Council chamber was silent, an eerie contrast to the chaos unfolding across the homeworld. Admiral Vrothak, his kidness exoskeleton gleaming under the bioluminescent glow of the council's dome, clenched his mandibles in frustration. "The war is lost," he declared. "The Drax Dominion's fleets are too many, too advanced. We will fall within the next cycle." Chancellor Xylovis, the oldest among them, exhaled a low hum, a sign of deep contemplation. "There is one possibility," he murmured. "The humans." The chamber erupted in hisses of protest. Humans, primitive, reckless, inferior. The Zarkani had observed them for centuries, an upstart species from a backwater world. They were unpredictable, driven by emotion rather than logic. They had barely ventured beyond their own star system. How could they possibly turn the tide against the Drax? Xylovis raised a feeble limb. "They are different," he insisted. "Their wars have forged them into something we cannot understand. They do not fight like us, and yet they win." Silence fell again. No Zarkani wanted to admit it, but the humans were survivors. The humans arrived in ragtag fleets, cobbled together from whatever warships and freighters their fledgling space force could muster. Their technology was outdated compared to the Drax or even the Zarkani, yet their commanders moved with precision and unpredictability, deploying strategies that defied all logic. When the first battle came, the Zarkani watched from the shadows, expecting their allies to be slaughtered. The Drax, towering reptilian conquerors, had dominated every species they had encountered. Their warships were impenetrable fortresses, their warriors ruthless and unrelenting. And then, the humans did what no other species had dared. They attacked with everything they had. Instead of careful formations and predictable tactics, they swarmed, striking from blind angles, overwhelming the Drax with sheer audacity. They weaponized their own destruction, turning crippled ships into kinetic missiles. Their commanders made reckless choices that defied reason, yet somehow they worked. The Drax faltered. For the first time in centuries, their fleets reeled back. On the surface of Xalur-9, the last free Zarkani colony, Captain Elias Carter and his battalion of human marines fortified their position. The colony's defenses had already crumbled when they arrived, its citizens bracing for slaughter. But the humans had dug in, refusing to let the Drax take another inch. Vrothak observed from the bunkers, disbelief still gnawing at him. "They fight as if death is irrelevant to them," he whispered to Xylovis. The old chancellor nodded. "That is what makes them dangerous." The battle for Xylar-9 raged for days. The humans fought not for survival alone, but for victory. They adapted, improvised. A single human sniper could hold an entire battalion at bay for hours. They used fire, deception, sabotage, anything that gave them an edge. Their ingenuity knew no bounds. And then came the moment that changed everything. A small group of human engineers, led by Lieutenant Avery Monroe, infiltrated the main Drax command ship. Armed with nothing but outdated weapons and explosives, they did the impossible. They disabled the command network, severing the Drax from their reinforcements. Without centralized orders, the enemy fleets crumbled. The humans pressed their advantage, pushing forward with reckless determination. When the war finally ended, the Zarkani stood among the ruins of what had nearly been their extinction. Their empire had been spared, but only because of the species they had once dismissed as insignificant. Admiral Vrothak, standing before a group of human soldiers, inclined his head in the deepest gesture of respect his kind could offer. "We did not believe in you," he admitted. "We did not understand you, and yet you saved us." Captain Carter, bloodied and exhausted, let out a tired chuckle. "That's what we do." And with that, humanity earned not just the gratitude of an empire, but the whispered fear of the galaxy.